So I've got more bad news. I can't find Nova anywhere. She told me she was really upset that this new balance patch just doesn't seem to be affecting anything, and she can't play her favorite decks. In particular, she's really wanting to play Shaman, so let's try and find Nova. Like, Nova's not near her scratching post, can't find her anywhere there. She's not by her drinking water at all. Like, we're even outside in the beautiful, totally mowed lawn. She's not even outside. Where is she? Hell, she's not even in the closet where she likes to hide a lot of the time. I mean, Nova could be absolutely... There you are, Nova. Nova, it's time to come down from there. Let's get back to playing Hearthstone. It's not that bad. Okay, Nova might not be coming down anytime soon. Can we get another balance patch?
Let's get salty!
Everyone, and welcome to This Week in Hearthstone, the 39th edition. We're almost at 40 of our weekly news recap series where we take a look at all the events and the news in the Hearthstone world throughout the past week. And well, we've got some pretty spicy stuff today. We have a potential cheating scandal in Hearthstone esports. This hasn't been resolved. There's a lot to go over, so we'll talk about it. Pretty good timing too. We just recently had a cheating scandal video. If you haven't checked that out, my doc series is really fun to make and it's been doing really well. Anyways, enough of that self-plugging. We'll also cover the Grand Masters results from this week on all three regions, who did well, who won, all the top fours, so we can check that out as well. No meta update this week. The balance patch went live, and well, as you guys know, not a lot has changed, and I don't really want to go too much into it. Maybe we'll do that in a video sooner than later, where maybe we could talk about some new stuff. But overall, no meta update this week, and we'll just skip straight to the mailbag where I answer your questions. So first, the top story. New cheating scandal in Hearthstone. I have to make another doc series covering this, as Ranlet tweeted here. Well, we're not entirely sure. Hearthstone Esports tweeted this out May 15th, early Saturday morning, that they are currently investigating reports of potential cheating during one of today's Grandmasters matches. So people are like, what happened? Well, what exactly happened? Well, there was a scheduled match between X-Blaze and his practice teammate in Zim. They were supposed to face off against each other. And well, Zim is not doing particularly well in the standings. He's basically nearing regulation or relegation, sorry. And X-Blaze no-showed the matchup. So automatically Zim won the match. He automatically wins, putting him basically, you know, in a much safer position for relegation. And well, Casey tweeted this out. He tweeted this out basically pointing out that this doesn't really look too good. X-Blaze was online while this was happening. He was online, as you could see, on the Battle.net launcher, yet he no-showed his match. And a lot of people noted, well, that just means, you know, if you leave your Hearthstone AFK, it'll show it as logged in. I do that all the time. People think I play 24/7. I rarely close my Hearthstone client. It shows me he's playing Hearthstone. However, he's logged into the official like esports account, which is only used for these matches. You don't really log into it casually unless you're planning on playing a match. So that's where the suspicion came up. RDU also tweeted in support of this, saying if that was him, he would be crucified and all of that, and that they should look into it. So Hearthstone Esports did tweet that out, that they will be investigating potential cheating, and so far we don't know anything of it yet. If there's going to be any punishment, I believe I read a tweet from X-Blaze basically denying it, seeing how he says he could see how people would think that he gets it, but that they have not cheated, you know, that just it's an honest mistake. So we'll have to wait and see. There's real implications to this. If they got caught for cheating, they could both end up out of the Grandmaster system. You don't like, it depends on what they decide, what punishment they did. Like, the cheating is a big deal, as we've seen throughout the history of Hearthstone, and we don't want it in our game. It taints the game. It taints competitive integrity. Even in a game filled with as much RNG and randomness as this, it's still pretty important. So we'll have to wait and see. Don't crucify anybody. It's innocent until proven guilty, but it doesn't look fantastic, and hopefully we'll get some news on this later, and I'll make sure to keep you guys posted. Next, we have the Grand Masters results, where basically if you just won with the same deck 3 times, you advanced. And well, there was some pretty interesting plays, a well-played weekend, a lot of good stuff happened, but we'll just go briefly over the results. First, we have the Asia Pacific region, which saw a top 4 of Glory, Dawn, Bank Yugi, and Possessi, with the finals being between Dawn and Possessi, with Possessi taking home the victory, so congratulations to him. On EU, we saw a final 4 of Zim, who was sent center of controversy. Yarla, Viper, and Frenetic, with Frenetic defeating Viper in the finals. Yarla, does he ever not finish Final Four? It's been ridiculous, but Frenetic defeated him, and Viper yet again as well doing pretty well, but never winning. He's always the runner-up. He likes to call himself the villain, basically. He's always the runner-up, always being rooted against to being beat, but congrats to him for another Final Four. Very well performed. And then on NA, we had another very consistent Final Four showing, where we saw Fled, Eddie, Luna Love, and No Hands Gamer all making it to the Final Four, with Eddie defeating Luna in the finals, I believe sweeping with Control Warrior of all things. So congratulations to Eddie for winning. But again, a lot of consistent performances. No Hands I think he's got to have locked up like maybe the top finishing on NA. It's absolutely ridiculous, and you'll love to see consistent hard work being rewarded. So congrats to everyone that got top 4 this week. And lastly, we have the mailbag segment where I answer your questions. And again, if you have a question for me, feel free to leave a question in the comments below with mailbag in the comment so it's easy for me to see. And first from T-Bone Zen asks, should Octobot and Field Contact have been nerfed too, considering Rogue was already a popular class in Masters Tour? I do think Octobot is a card that definitely should be looked at in further balance patches. I don't think Rogue is, I mean, all the win rates across all the class, like it does really well High Legend, but win rates across ranks, it's not like the best deck in the world. But I think Octobot on 2, it just creates this ridiculous mana cheat. Like Field Contact is pretty absurd, but when you combine it with Octobot, and it's like, yeah, just the fact that it's always going to get that frenzy on curve. You can't deal 4 damage on turn 2. It's just not doable. And then of course you can manipulate it with your pings and all that. I think it might be a little bit too strong. Again, I think I suggested it as a nerf target at some point as well. I would love to see that. Field Contact, maybe not as much. It's a really powerful card. It lets Rogue draw an absurd amount of cards, but I'd rather Field Contact be that type of card rather than just play a 1-mana Secret Passage. Field Contact, you at least have to work for it and, you know, do some cool stuff. So I'm more on board for nerfing Octo at some point. Maybe not necessarily now, but down the road. Stephen Any asks, I've always been curious, how tall are you? I'm like a smidgen, like just a smidgen under 6 foot. I'm around there, but with my recent foot injury, if you've been following me on Twitter, I feel a little bit shorter, but yeah, around 6 foot, just short of that. Abbott Carmaker asks, do you think Hearthstone can survive the next 5 years in the gaming market with the current system of monetizing? No, I do not. And I think they realize that. If you haven't noticed with Hearthstone, they are increasing cosmetics more and more and more. We're seeing more portraits. We're seeing like the Tavern Pass, right? With all the cosmetic increases, incentives. We're seeing more bundles than ever. I think they realize that cosmetics and like going for that route of monetization is probably a lot more successful than, you know, just bludgeoning people for packs all the time. And I think they're trying to move away from that. They're trying to get their monetization structure to, you know, work to that, and I think that's smart. You've seen it with like Riot Gaming. They do that a lot and have been very successful, and I think they'll keep transitioning down that road, and I think that's a good thing. You know, make the game more accessible to play, but, you know, give more reasons to spend money on it if you want to be a whale or just enjoy cool cosmetics. So I think they are going down that road. Kalu Cadorso asks, how do you hydrate yourself and stay salty at the same moment? Well, I constantly have like a, you know, a glass of water or whatever around, and as long as I keep replenishing myself, all the sodium I create kind of, you know, balances out in this equilibrium. It's quite fascinating. It's kind of unique to Canadians for some reason. I've talked to Crip about it, and it's just, you know, it's just the way things are around here in Canada. We can just create salt as much as hydrate. It's very fascinating. Lastly, the big dog asks, why do you think Blizzard is so out of touch with their players these days? I kind of agree with this sentimentality that much, that they're completely out of touch. Like, this latest balance patch hasn't been fantastic. It's not been the most in touch thing ever. But at the same time, Alec Dawson went on to Twitter today communicating that, yeah, it wasn't really meant to be this big impactful patch, that it was meant to be more of something to get ready for the mini set, but it wasn't really communicated that well, right? They said the patch would be spicy. So I feel like they're doing a lot better to trying to communicate with us. We have Ixar doing his AMAs every week, and they're doing a better job to see what we want. But at the same time, they still, you know, we're not always right on everything, and they need to do what they feel is right. And sometimes they're going to miss. And I do think they are making an honest effort to you know, keep in touch with us. And sometimes they whiff. They're human. They make mistakes and they whiff. And I really think they're making an honest effort, and I hope that they continue to do that. And that's this week in Hearthstone. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Have a great day. And stay salty, my friends. No Nova at the end. My foot's just killing me. I don't want to go grab her. I apologize. But she was in the intro. All right. We'll talk to you guys later.